Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the morning still, Friday morning. I'm going to make some art cards. So I am recording. If y'all don't know what my art cards are, I do have I keep a few samples to show people, but these are what I give away. But here's a few of my collage mixed media art cards. First off, let me say that they're 3x4. I like to start off with like 110 weight cardstock um, to build off of. They're bigger than an ATC. An ATC is 2.5 by 3.5. These are 3x4, and I'll show you a few here that I've made. These are varnished and finished, so yeah. So these are some of the ones that I've made. And sometimes I've wanted to, um, and I have, turn these into small acrylic paintings, but I just don't have the time right now because I do so many portrait commissions and streaming, and of course we do our color booking and stuff like that, that I haven't taken the time to do many uh, acrylic paintings from these, but I have done a few, and I have sold the paintings. But also I'll use these kind of like a sketch. Somebody asked me a question on the varnish. It rolled off, guys, before I see it. And let me just start off by saying that this is a show on Ustream with a live chat. We've got over 100 people chatting, so it does move quickly. The chat moves quickly, so if you have any questions, put them in caps. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching this recording, then thanks for watching over there, and just note that it's a live chat, so I'm answering questions. And sometimes they will be repeated, so I will repeat myself. And also, I talk about my process. If you've watched me make art cards or art journaling before, it is the same process. It's the same process that I use on my art cards that I use. Let me grab one of my journals here. Where's one? It's the same process that I use on my larger pieces. Like my art, this is art journal covers. Let me find a page that's done in here. Like this. It's all the same process. It's just smaller. Okay, a smaller scale. And I usually give all these away. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I'll be talking about the products I use, the paint I use. Nobody's sponsoring me for any of the products. And there's just the products that I like and that work for me, and I talk about the process and what I'm using as I'm using it. Hey, CB. So thanks everybody for popping in. So I'm going to show you a few more of the cards that I have here. So we're going to make some of these, and you can also make them a postcard size. It doesn't have to be, again, oh, the question was on the varnish. Uh, okay, I don't know where or what you're talking about, Prisma, sorry. The varnish that I use is the Delta Ceram Coat gloss exterior interior, and I did find out, at least at my Michaels, they're not selling this anymore at my Michaels. They said they quit carrying the Ceram Coat varnish. I had to get it at Hobby Lobby. Of course, you can get it at Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon. It usually runs about $10 for 8 ounces, but I always use coupons, 40, 50% off. So I did have to go to Hobby Lobby to get another jar, bottle, whatever. And then the matte medium, I use golden matte medium. This is my glue. Now I will use occasionally, I'll use some Eileen's tacky glue to, like, you know, if I forget to glue something down and I've already varnished I've already matte mediumed everything down and I need to add something else, I'll just tack it down with some tacky glue. This is my favorite, like school glue, if you will, is the Eileen's tacky. But everything I use, I glue everything down with my golden matte medium. Okay, and so yeah. I have different ones in different stages. Some of these have paint, some have just some starters on them. They're in different stages. These were some that we started a while back, and I usually do a whole bunch of starters at one time. Some of these might be cut up art journal pages. I don't even remember on some of them. But so we might use some of these just to make extras. Let's see, I'm not putting, I like those 5. If we do decide to use any of these. Oh, here's another one with clocks on it. There's another one with clocks. I love adding watches and clocks because I like doing elements of time. Here's one that's kind of a cool looking with the piece of watch. It looks like a farmhouse. So I might do something with that. So I might use some of these, and I might do some starting from scratch. Or I might do a combination of both. So these are all just in process cards. And the other thing that that I can tell you that's cool to do is if you have old art journal pages, like on cardstock where you've done, I would, I've torn many. I'll deconstruct a journal in a heartbeat, but you may not want to do that. But if you have art journal pages that you've done that you don't really like, or you just don't know what to do with them, then you can cut them up and use them in for art cards. Okay, so everybody always asks, what can I do with my backgrounds? Okay, well, I can show you what to do with your backgrounds if you're a collage person. Now this is mixed media collage. Okay, I have done a painting of this one, an acrylic painting based off of this one. So these are just a few of the postcard size ones I've done. So these are 4x6, your standard postcard size. I have a few of those that I keep around, and I have a few. Here's where I've done some Rolodex cards. So these are like, well, there you can see. These are done with the Rolodex cards. So if you like doing the Rolodex card a day or whatever, there's different groups that do things with the Rolodex. So this is what I do with my Rolodex cards. So I have a few here just to show you. So these are the kind of things you can do. And it's, again, guys, it's all the exact same process, just different scale. Like, I'll use bigger calendar pages or magazines or old book pages or stuff in the journals. But for these tiny cards, I have to use, think small. You have to think small. Eileen wondering if you have a flamingo. I did have a flamingo card, but I've sent it away. I don't have one to show her. You can also do, let me put these back here. I've even done them in 2 inches. So you can do them very tiny. Now I don't know how much this is going to focus, but I've done them very small. Again, depending on the lighting, hope you can see these or not. But it's all the same process, just different sizes. If I put the autofocus on, it's going to wave in and out. It'll focus real close, but then it'll fluctuate. I can turn it on for a minute while we look at these, but I don't like the fluctuation thing. You know what I mean, Vern? So like we can probably get it to focus here. Have you ever made inch? Well, this is probably as close to inchies as I get. Let's see if I can get one to. See how it fluctuates? I can't take the fluctuation. So yeah. Yeah, these are like twinchies, I guess this would be 2 inches size. Cards. Okay. All right, so there's just to show you that there's all different sizes. Yes, I have all these little worlds and small worlds in my head, but they go to space. I just like space and science fiction, and I like that. But, not everything is in space. I mean, here's some, well, I guess it kind of is. It's got space right there. Anyway, so there's some different ones these are in different stages, different process, different stages. Okay, so we're going to do a couple different things. We'll do some in stages of, see, like here, let me show you. See, I'm always prepared. Here's 2-inch cards. All this is 2 inches. I can make thousands of them. And I have the same, I have that all cut out like in ATC sizes too. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you kind of a little bit of both processes, or, both stages, let's put it that way. So these have already gone through the first stage. All right, so now I'm going to start from the very beginning. And I usually like to make about 6 or 8 at a time. Going to rearrange things here. We'll do 6. It looks like that's going to be conducive to the situation. So we'll set out 6. All right, I want to put some wax paper down so I don't get everything really gluey. Put wax paper on my list. We'll just start with that. Can you always draw, Eileen, a portrait of Frank Sinatra? You can. Yeah, so that's another thing. Portraits are hard to do on. I mean, I've done a few on a stream, like I showed you. I've shown you a few, but they're hours worth of work, hours and hours and hours worth of work. Unless I do a quick sketch, a painty sketch with just some acrylic paint and a little bit of pencil. Portraits are very time consuming, and we work here on Ustream in 3-hour increments. Well, actually, it's a little less than 3 hours. That's how long Ustream gives us in increments. We can always add another part, another segment. But, it's a lot. It's hours, guys. You got to, kind of remember that. Okay. All right. So now these are the ones I'm going to work on. And usually what I'll do, like in this set right here, I love these colors. I love ochres. I love sienna. I love indigo. Those are my favorite colors to do, kind of like Renaissance colors. And I always seem to gravitate toward them. Now, if you like things like gardening, or if you like doing animals, or what, you have to kind of do things. Oh, she hates them. Oh, okay, no, okay. Y'all see, chat goes by fast. Y'all are talking about, oh, do this for Eileen. Oh, she hates him. Well, I missed that totally. I know she doesn't like flamingos. So anyway, I like to start with the color theme. So, and sometimes I can go with the color first, or in this case, I'm going to just go with the collage bits. So I have a folder here of all kinds of collage-y stuff. And it usually turns out that I try, just for the sake of convenience, to try to make a whole bunch in the same 3 to 4 color family or whatever. Like these are the gray, ochre, blue, and sienna kind of colors, because it makes doing a whole bunch of them easier than doing, this one in green, this one in red, that one in blue, because then you've got 30 colors on your palette, and it's just easier if you do a few at a time in one color family. And so anyway, I'm going to kind of look through here and just pick out things that may appeal to me in my collage fodder. I mean, there's all kinds of little, I have no idea what this was from or what it is. But I might want to use some browns. I don't know yet. Might go with greens. Here's a bit of a tree. The thing about collage is you have to be willing to look at it this way, upside down. Don't try to say, oh, here's a little miniature tree. Nothing wrong with that. You can do that. But my love of collage comes from combining all kinds of things that you don't necessarily see. And you'll kind of see as I go. And if this is your first time being here and seeing me work on art cards, you might think, what? But I have tons, trust me, tons of mixed media collage videos. They're all the same process. It's just different sizes. Okay, so I'm just flipping through. I had some marbles that I was using for like some planets and things, but you can always use just like, I gotta get my little scissors here. Where are they? I like using watches and clocks because I like I said, I like elements of time. This is a vase or a vase, but I'm going to cut it down into like a planet. So hope everybody's having a good Friday. This is an impromptu Friday show. I never can really plan on Fridays. It's going to take me a minute, so if y'all have any questions or anything, ask. Because this is the process where you have to, it's very random. It's hard to say, oh, then take this or do that. Right now I'm kind of going for some colors, like this might have too much blue. I may not use that. I'm probably not going to use that. Just throw that away. And I'm just flipping through bits of collage. Okay, like here's a top of some kind of a temple or something. That would be a good element. But think of them upside down, right side up. You don't have to necessarily think of them as they are. Let me round this one out a little. Okay, maybe that. Hey, Dragon, did I say hi to you? People pop in and out the chat. All right, let's see. So this is why I try to I have drawers full of collage stuff categorized, but right now I'm going through a box of folders of collage bits. Like here's a bunch of rocks with maybe, I don't know where, some kind of a stone face, but I might like some of this rock right here. It looks like I'm going for gray right now, gray and blue. So this one might be too brown. I might just stick with gray, grays, blues. We'll see how that goes. I need some more watch parts. I'm trying to think of everything I can think of to tell y'all how fun collage is. Because for me, I love it. I love collage. Here's a bit of some kind of a little bit of a wave thing. I'm not sure from what. Let's see. Trash. I have a trash right next to me too. So I'm going to get enough here going for 6. And I'm going, hey Suzanne, I'm going to put together some here. And then we might just move over to some that I already got started. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. but old magazines, calendars, jewelry bits, just whatever, little bits of anything. Okay, so here's an example of how you can just use all kinds of bits. All right, so for some reason I use a bit of that hut, but let's just play out of a Nat Geo or something. You see all this going on here? Don't look at it like, oh, here's a scene. Look at it like, look, here's some texture. Look, this could be a whole nebula in space. See? So you have to look at things not as what they are, but what, you know, possibilities you could have. Okay. And I know sometimes people think, I can't see that. Well, it does take some practice. And the more you do it, it's like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of like some kind of rocky thing or some waves, a little bit of blue in there. So I might dig me out some more watch parts or some flower, or I don't know. I'm just flipping through and seeing what kind of strikes me. I mean, here's some bits of flowers that I've used. Let's take maybe, like, see, just this little bit right here is very cool. But I'm trying to stick with blues and grays. So, let's see. Here's bits of waves, bits of sky. I like the forces you to step out of your box. Yes, it does. It does force you. Here's a little piece of a mechanical something. Here's a piece of a leftover watch or something I used. Might go with that bit. I like doing time. I like doing doors. I like doing space. There's a bit of I usually just make my own outer space scenes, but every now and then there's a little piece of a star that just I like. Let's see if I put this here, that over that. Maybe I might like that. Move that down. I like that. Bye, Valerie. Thanks for stopping in. Anybody else coming in and out? So if you're just joining us, before I hit record, I was requested to work on art cards today. So that's what we're doing. I think I'm liking this bit. That. And you see it come together more when we do the painting process. So and again, guys, it is a little, I don't know, call it tedious, but it might be kind of tedious to watch. But okay, so here's a little bit of some kind of rope on some clothing or something. But it's just, look at the texture, look at the colors. I'm really liking this. Really liking that. And it's kind of hard to see now, but we'll zoom in and stuff, or I'll hold it up when we get closer. Let's see. I just need a few more little elements and we'll start painting. I'm just flipping through all kinds of... okay, here's another one that's a good... All right, like, look at this. Look at this aerial view of some farmland. But don't look at it as that. Look at all the textures and turn it and look at all different kinds of ways and things that it could be. Okay, look, here's a little bit of some kind of brick. That's really cool. And don't worry about things hanging over the edges, because after you glue it on, then you can trim. Maybe I'll do an arch around this. That would be kind of cool, have an arch around the wave. Like that. Hey Laura, we're making art cards today. No coloring. Well, we colored earlier, but... okay, here's another bit of a watch bit. Kind of like that, just that little bit there. Something like that. So I'm just kind of building worlds, and I know it's hard to see it right now, but let's see, I think I want this to be like on the bottom. I want this like here. Maybe. Thanks, Laura. So let's see, I need one more something there. That one's coming along. That one's pretty good. This one's might need something. I'm just kind of looking at them, seeing does it look like enough for me yet. And you can always go with brighter things too. I mean, look at these purple flowers. I mean, you can go with all kinds of colors. It's just that right now it looks like I'm going blue, grays, and kind of blues and grays. Whereas this set here had more sienna, and so we might work more on these too. Because these are further along. Okay, so I might do some of this and then get some of these as well. Bye, Juju. Thanks for stopping in. All right, let's see. Just a couple more elements. Here's some more mechanically looking things. I love things that have mechanical because it just works well with space stuff. Almost like that better than this. Kind of liking that. That better. And then maybe up at the top here. This. Or that. Or this. Or not at all. Maybe. Okay. I think I'll just start. I can see a couple, like this might need one more thing. So just thanks for hanging, guys. I should ask y'all some questions out of the chart, out of the chat pack. So you have something to... That's too brown. Okay, we'll just start with this. So that took about 30 minutes. And really, that's kind of rushing it, to tell you the truth. That's a little quick. All right, so now I'm going to get this is dry paint here, and I'm going to pour out some golden matte medium. This is my glue of choice, and I always put a baggie on top of my lid so that it doesn't glue the lid to the jar. And I'm going to pour some out here. That's probably plenty. Uh-oh. That's way more than I need now. All right, so let me clean off the lid here. Put my baggie back on top to protect it from gluing itself together. I actually need a new one. Let me get a different baggie here. find one to protect it. Okay. Well, this is a huge one, but it'll work. Alright, so then I'll get out a glue brush, and I have certain brushes that are old, like old paint brushes that have seen their day, and these are what I use to use for my matte medium. Alright, so what I'm going to do is start by just gluing these down, and it's matte medium. That means it's no shine. And the best way to do it, instead of trying to take something off and like remember where things are sitting, if you just take a new card and start gluing. So I always put the matte medium on the card, then on the back of the whatever I'm gluing. If y'all have questions, put them in caps, guys, because the chat just really rolls by. And then just put a kind of a coat over the whole thing, and then take a card. Do I have one here? Yeah. Just take a card and smooth everything out. Get all the wrinkles out like that. And we'll set this one aside. Go to the next one. And I don't worry about getting any glue or anything on the back, because I paint the backs of all my cards. Let's see, we'll go with this piece here. Ooh, I almost like that back side better, but we'll go with this one. Probably need to zoom in a little, because, well, I will when I go to start painting, because then you won't be able to see all 6 cards. So you want any questions or anything, guys? Just holla. Again, don't worry about if it goes off the edge, because you can cut that off here in a little bit. Put that right there. Do you love all things space related, or is it just in your art? I've always loved science fiction. That's one of the things I first started when I started reading spy novels and science fiction. I like biographies too, but I always read way above my age. I mean, like, I can remember in elementary school reading Asimov and, you know, yeah. So I do like everything space. Star Trek and Star Wars and, you know, whatever is popular now. But I like true science fiction. Like, you know, a lot of science fiction went to fantasy. Nothing wrong with it, just saying. But, you know, when, and of course I love me some, I gotta get me some baby wipes here. I love Lord of the Rings and all that, read all those, and, you know, loved all them back in the day too. But when they kind of converged, when dragons in space kind of thing, that just wasn't what I liked. I like true science fiction, like, you know, I just didn't like it when fantasy kind of moved into, that's just me. I mean, most people love that. I guess I'm just old school sci-fi. So again, we'll trim all this off in a minute, okay? I need to kind of get that one a little more smooth. All right, last one. And this is all very, it's just very fluid. It's not like, you know, I can say, oh, well, I like arches. I like water. I like space. I like elements of time. So I use watches and clocks. I like textures because those make worlds. Um, but it's very subjective. That's the word I'm looking for. You like, you're saying for Pat and CB? Yeah, we're old school got girls. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to, I'm just going to kind of fold this up because it's got glue all over. I can still use it when I paint. And I never care if I get paint here. I don't really want glue, though, because it's like a mess. All right, so I'm going to hit these with the heat gun, and while I'm drying them, I'll hold them up a little bit so you can see them. Let's move this out of the way. Gotta clear some space. And I moved my plug for my heat gun so I can reach it all the way across my table. All right, so I'm gonna just dry what I have here with the heat gun. Heat gun. It only takes a minute. Actually, just a few seconds, you know. Because they're almost dry already. All right, now let's go ahead and get my scissors, and I'm going to trim off the overhang. It's easier to do it with the big pan. So I'm not chopping. I'm just doing one cut in there. So here we go. We can see what we're doing here. I know Mr. Heat Gun is still hanging in there. This one doesn't have any overhang. This one has a little. So, you know, if you just don't think about some things hanging over, you just fit the piece to what you're trying to do rather than worry about things hanging off the edge, because you can always just go trim it. And again, this is 110 card stock. And it might, you know, it might warp a little, but just, you know, work it out. And by the time I add my collage, my paint, and I paint the backs too, and then a coat of matte a matte medium with the gluing it down, and then I put a coat of varnish. These babies are quite thick. If y'all have ever got one from me before, you know they're pretty. They're sturdy. They're pretty sturdy. So did I bump my camera, or am I just like not working up here? Okay, so there's that. Let me throw this. Okay. All right, and then these are the ones we're going to do stage 2 showing as well. All right, got to make room. Okay. Bye, Carol. Thanks everybody for being here. I need a sip of coffee. Where is it? So again, it's the same process on the art cards as it is in my art journaling. Like there's my covers of this one. I'll show you, I'll do a couple finished pages in here. This probably doesn't have as many as the other one, but here's a page here. Here's a page finished. Have another page. This one doesn't have that many pages finished in it as some of the other ones. I have 5 journals going on. There's this one, this tiger. I have at least 5 going on at once, including 2 altered books, where I'll take a book and alter it. And I'll show you one. I know y'all probably all seen these, but So like here's abandoned places, and I do like this. I'll alter the actual page that's there and to make it into what a world that I want to make it into, with the same kind of process, except the difference with using a book is that you've already got to start. So you don't have to, you're not starting with a blank page. What, the art cards, Melody? I'll send you an art card, Melody, if I've never sent you one. My art cards I usually just give away. They're not like in a drawing. They're not in like the Monday drawings that I do. Those are like collected art cards and postcards and little art from everybody else over the last 7 years. But the art cards I send those out. So there's like this. See, like that's a marble. So, and a lot of these pages here I've done on stream. So you'll see quite a few of these on streams. This is one of my favorites here. This one, there's a show on this. So there's a show on this one. This one's been varnished, so you can see. Now, I haven't varnished all of them in this book, the finished ones. I will probably eventually varnish them all. Now, let me say this: if you varnish inside your art journal or an altered book, leave it open overnight to make sure it's 100% dry. But I have never had any problem with pages sticking together using this varnish, the Delta Ceram Coat gloss. Exterior, interior. As long as you let it dry 100%. Okay, Eileen, stay safe in the storms. Stay safe, Eileen. Okay, I got to get crack-a-lack in here. So anyway, these are started with blank pages in here. And just these are the Dilutions journals that have really, good cardstock pages, heavy weight pages in these. And yeah. Okay, so back to our little art card project here. So next thing I do is I decide on colors, and I just use Americana craft paints. They changed their logo from showing that the deco art used to be down here on the bottom. Like, let me get one here. So they're the same Americana paint. They just moved the logo from down here. See where it says Deco Art down here? They moved it up here to make it more prominent in their newer jars. I use matte, which it doesn't say matte. I don't use satin or gloss because this is the same paint that I'll use like washes in my color books that I go over with pencil. And as long as it's a matte, and the craft paint is, if you start using the artist grade paints, you cannot pencil over shiny paint. So I just use the same paint for all my processes. Just craft paint, Americana matte craft paint. All right, so let me pick some colors here. Let me get another little tray or two here. I'm going to need some black and white. I always use black and white, so let's just decide what colors here. And it does kind of dry a little faster under the light, so I try not to put out too much at once. What did I do with the black? I just had it. Oh, I try not to put out too much at once because it can dry kind of quick. All right, so then I want like maybe, I'm going to want a gray. I'll probably want maybe like a uniform blue or a slate blue. Just kind of looking here. Maybe a touch of red. Maybe we'll go with a little bit of red. What other color do I want? I try to just pick out a few colors out of the... This one has a little bit more tealy color, but Same for this one. I don't know if I really want teal going in this, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll use a little bit of bluegrass green, kind of a teal color. We'll see. I'm not sure I want to add that in there or not, but I'm going to pour a little bit out. So I'm going to put a little bit of that out, which is bluegrass green, a little bit of uniform blue, and I may use like some of the uniform blue on one and the bluegrass green on the other. Let me take my ring off here. Hang on, guys. Getting paint. I gotta clean my hands off. That one kind of leaked on me. And then set that aside because I'm making a mess. Some slate gray and a little bit of red. Again, you can see I didn't close that all the way. Crunchy bits. And I do a lot of blending with baby wipes, and the baby wipes I use are Huggies Natural. I just found I like them because there's no soapy, scrunchy, soapy stuff in them. So we're going to go with those colors for now. And now the colors underneath are dry. It doesn't bother me to see other colors underneath the colors I'm using, but some people that bothers. You can't, I can't distinguish between what's dry and what's, so, use the kind of palettes of your choice. I just use coffee lids. All right, so I'm done with the glue brush for now, so that goes back in water. I'm done with that. Okay. Trying to keep space, a little bit of space here. Okay, so now comes some part where, I said so now, and Siri comes on. All right. Rolling up the sleeve so I don't get it on my white shirt. I wasn't planning on painting, so yeah. Okay, so let me check chat real quick. Hey, Sarah. Anybody else coming in that I might have missed? All right, so I think I will try to zoom in a little and we'll paint and start let's see here. That may be too close. That's probably good right there. That's probably pretty good. Okay. So what I usually do when I start is try to get rid of the background, the card, the white card. So as you can see in these examples, I think I might want this one to go this way. This one has some old stenciling on it. Some of these seem to be wanting to run horizontal. I personally like vertical better than horizontal card configuration, but whatever works. So that one can go this way. So I'm just kind of showing you like this. I kind of like that one like this. Oh, it could go either way. I think I'll go this way. And then this one just looks like that piece of watch. It looks almost like a little barn there. And this one kind of looks like a cavern. So we'll probably work on these after I base coat these, but I just want to kind of show you that we have another color family over there that we're going to work on, because those are just in the next stage. So these that I just showed you, like this is in the stage after like what I'm getting ready to do now. You just did their performance and Disney keep your fingers crossed. Oh, okay, Pat. Okay, yeah, Boo goes on at 3. We're talking about Summit in Florida for the cheer competition. Oh. Yay, I know, Pat, right? I said that earlier. Yeah, Boo's at Summit now. They go on at 3 today. I'm not sure what time tomorrow, but yeah. Go, Pat! Yeah, both our granddaughters are, is it your daughter, Pat, or your granddaughter? I don't remember. If it's your daughter or your granddaughter that is in it, in cheer competition. Okay, I'll try to watch for the answer. All right, so now I think I'm going to, it's kind of random which one I go to first. I just kind of pick them. So, oh, well, you know what? Now it's time for bragging. Denise sent me this yesterday to me and my mom. Let's see if I can find it here. Ah, here we go. All right. It's only like 5 seconds, people. Here's Boo. Wait for it. Wait for it. That was their warm-up practice at their gym. Do it one more time. So yeah, me and Pat, granddaughter too, Pat. Okay, yeah. Okay, back to our normally scheduled program. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. I think I'll start with black. I got black, white, and my colors right here. I'm going to just go with black on this one. And what I usually do, oh, okay, a couple more things. Let me get my baby wipe ready. A couple more things. The reason that I can do this with paint on top of collage bits is because of the matte medium. It's because of the matte medium that I can wipe away anything that I put on there. Well, I don't want to wipe this away, but the matte medium is like a barrier, so you can put your paint on. And again, I don't worry about getting on the back because I paint the backgrounds black anyway. I think I'll grab a little white and make it kind of maybe a little bit of the blue and the gray. So I pick up 2 or 3 colors. And I don't know if I want the teal, though. I think I want the uniform blue. So let me just put that on there. And again, because the whole thing is coated with matte medium, I can come in here and wipe away anything I want. So let's just put that down. And then I'll go in here, and you use a lot. You use a lot of baby wipes doing this, whether it's on art cards or whether it's on journal pages. If you do this technique with a lot of blending and wiping with baby wipes, I mean, I might go through 5 or 6 baby wipes on a card, depending on how much time I want to take. Because once it gets saturated with paint, you got to get a new one. Otherwise, you're just moving paint around, and you want to have it, see, it's a mess. Laura, don't try this at home. I don't know if she's still here. Because you go through, I mean, when I was doing lots of these art journals and art cards for you guys, I was going through, like, I could go through 2 boxes of baby wipes in a week. Yeah, Boo actually, she tried out for her she starts high school next year, and she actually got on the varsity cheerleading as a freshman. I don't know if y'all know, that's a big deal. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. So there's a start of that one. Okay. So now I'm just going to keep moving through these. I think I'll go with a couple shades of the gray and the blue. See, I'm picking up a couple colors at once. And I'm just kind of, can you kind of see that? The matte medium is dry. Yes, I just hit it with the heat gun a little bit ago before you came in then, I guess, Wright. So I'm just going from black to blue to gray. See, I pick up multiple colors on my hand. And then after I get it kind of based on here, then I can go back in with the baby wipe and start kind of blending. And it's because of the matte medium, though, that I can move the paint off or shuffle it around. Yeah, I know, Vicky, right? We're so proud of her. She's already got her whole life planned out. She really does. She plan now. Of course, everything always changes, but she has her idea what she wants to be. She wants to be a surgeon, a brain surgeon. That's just now. Who knows what she decides to be later, but yeah. Thanks, Pat. I know. I can't believe. Oh, you know what? Speaking of bragging, I probably should go get something to drink anyway. I'll bring up. Remember, I showed y'all my 2 frames I bought to do those pages to hang in my kitchen. Well, my kitchen area where I keep my newest pictures. Let me finish these and then I'll show you. I'll go get some juice and I'll show you the. I don't know how many people are interested in my scrapbooking, but I don't really scrapbook anymore, but I do try to keep a couple of pages hanging in my dining area of the Grands. I have to get some new pictures of Logan, but I have, okay, I'm going to use a little bit of that green in there, I think, because I might put some water down there. I don't know. I have to get some new pictures off of Facebook because Annie doesn't send, she just does everything on Facebook and Instagram. So I've got to grab some pictures of him to do a 3rd one. But I showed y'all last week that I got free frames. They were $5 in the clearance section at Michael's. I'm going to grab a little bit of white and gray. So I did these 2 because I had the frames. I was so happy to get those frames for $5. They're nice cherry wood frames. $5 at Michael's in the clearance section. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to leave that for a second. So we got 3. Got 3 more real quick. This one, I'm going to go ahead and go with the gray and the teal again. I got way too much paint out here for this little bit. But maybe I'll pick up a little of that blue and blend those 2 together. Okay, so before it dries, I'm going to come in here and wipe out whatever I don't want. Then I'll go down here with some blue, a little black. Kind of blend that in a little and then wipe it back. So I was real happy the way they turned out. The framed picture things that I did. Okay, so I'll just leave that one for a second. So you can see where we're going. Maybe. Maybe you can see where we're going. All right, this one has the red in it. And this one, I'll do the red last. All right, so let's go with this one. I'm going to pick up some gray and I'm going to continue this wave. I'm going to stay in camera here. What did Vicky say? So I'm going to just kind of continue a wave action there. And I'll add white and stuff, the details. This is just the base coat of paint. This is not the details yet. This is just the base coat. Some black in there. And now let me kind of, because I want to have an arch there. I'm going to have this wave that's going to be inside of an arch. Like that. So let's put that arch back in there a little bit like that. So you see everything I'm doing so far is all with my fingers. Let's put some gray in the background so that looks kind of hidden in there. And then maybe a little bit more black on the edge. Okay, so that'll be a start for that one. Bye, Melody, and I'll send you one. I won't tell you which one. I'll surprise you. Let me write that down, though, because I'll forget. Let me get a Post-it note. I'll send you one, Melody, okay? Okay. All right. Get the sleeves. Thanks, Karen. All right, now let's see. I'm going to go with a couple. I want a little bit of this green in there because there's a little bit in this area here. And just a touch of red. Kind of blend that out. Let's go down here at the bottom. So I'm just kind of making a little world that I see in my head. Again, it's getting stuff on the back. It doesn't matter because I paint all the backs of all my cards black. So it doesn't matter if it gets on the back or not at this point because they're going to be painted out anyway. All right. There we go. Maybe just a touch more red here. Something like that. A streak of this. There we go. Well, you can still do that too, Melody. Melody, that has nothing to do with this. You can do both. You can do both. Okay, so let me get some more stuff to clean my hands because you can see they get dirty really quick. All right, so while this is setting up for just a minute, I'm going to go run down and get me some juice. Let's get some clean area here. I'll grab all of these so I'll put them in camera, sorta. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And I just want to go grab some juice. I don't know, my pictures are going to be too zoomed in to show you now. Gotta get more baby wipes. I mean, it really does, guys. It's a mess to do this, but I don't mind. But you know. All right, let me get some juice, and then I'll have to hit these with a heat gun. Then we go into the next segment. But right now, these right here are pretty much, other than a little bit of stencil stars up here, these are at this stage now. So they're just, different color family, but these are all kind of the same thing. Now I'm going to show you how to splatter, scrape some paint, add some texture, add some detail, and do that. Okay, but I got to get some juice, guys. What time is it? Okay, we're an hour in. Okay, because my throat, I don't want to give myself a sore throat. I just passed by the news, and that guy that I told you about, Cooper's Treasure show I've been watching, he was on there talking about the anchor from Columbus. I won't tell you. Okay, so I got some juice. I brought up those pictures to show you when I zoom back out. Okay, so let's hit this with the heat gun real quick. just to make sure I'm not, the paint's kind of set a little bit. All right, now I'm going to put another piece of cleaner wax paper in here so I'm just not dragging my hand through. I had a sheet here. What do I do with it? So I'm not dragging my hand through paint on my table. So, okay. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'll do a little bit of star flicking, and I'll also do a little bit of palette knife scraping. All right, gotta find a palette knife. Okay. Thanks, Vicky. Okay, so let's start by, let me get a little bit of, I don't want to water that paint down because I want to use it, so let me get another little lid. Here's a small one. This will be good for. All right, so I'm going to take some paint, a little bit of this white paint, and I want to put some separate from here because I don't want to water this down because I'm going to want to use that. And let me spray this. I don't want to use that other full strength, so I'm just going to water some down. Now I got to find a brush. Oh. Hang on. I don't want to. Here we go. No, that's too. Here we go. I just want something that's kind of soft because I want to just kind of flick some paint. So I'm watering this down. Oh, sorry. They are sure the anchors are from the... I know. I want to... Yeah, I'm watching the series, but I didn't stay to watch the news. Gonna see. Okay, Pat. I know. Good luck to yours as well. I know, Pat, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so now I'm going to just take, and I've got this watered down acrylic paint and a kind of a soft brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start by kind of flicking. That might be a little too much flick. It can be either stars, it can be wave foam, it can be multiple things. Like down here, I don't want any down here, so I'm just going to kind of cover that up. And if you get somewhere you don't want it, it's got matte medium and paint on, just wipe it off and start again. So I kind of want a little bit up there. This one, I think I'll do that up here too. Whoops, too much there. Let's wipe that off. Too much. Too much flicking. Gotta flick gently because I want small little stars, not huge. Okay. This one I kind of want it right here in the middle. So I'll wipe off the ones here at the top. And if you don't want to flick, you can do it with a Posca pen. Oh, did my first face with markers. Oh, see, I haven't watched, I missed the last probably 30 to 45 minutes of your show, Jean. I have to still watch, and I have to catch up on Janet's too. This one, I think I want it flicked all over. I have to watch the rest of yours, Jean, and Janet's. I'm behind a little, but I'm going to watch this weekend because I got to do Grandma's portrait. So I'll have plenty of video time. And just to see that, Jean. Okay, back with the heat gun now. I don't want to smear my stars. Oh, you didn't do it on stream. Oh, you just now did it and tweeted. Ah, okay, Jean, thanks. So I know you were, swatching all your markers. That's what you were doing when I left. some of these blobs are kind of big. This one I kind of smeared. I'm gonna have to do another. I got to do some more stars on this one. They take take another minute to dry because they're a little bit, blobby. Okay, so there's a couple things you can do for extra oomph. And do I have enough colors out here to do the oomph? Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. There'll be a good example. All right, so I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the, I think I got white paint on here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the turquoise and a touch of white, not the watered down white, but the thick white. And I just messed up my chat. 3 hours swatching. Oh my gosh. Did you finish them? Oh, you finished them off. Okay. Well, hey, it was fun hanging out. All right, so now I got a little bit of the turquoise and white paint on here. And if I don't like it, I'll just wipe it off, okay? But what I want to do is kind of scrape some extra scrapage. Is that what I want to say? Maybe a little bit more white. And kind of do, some scrapes with the palette knife. If I don't like some area, I'll just come pull back through here with my finger. See? So what I'm trying to do is just add a little bit more wave action here. See? So you can do it with scrape. It's easier to do the scraping on the bigger pieces on the art journal. It's a little trickier on these little bitty things. That's why I just like to get in there with my finger. But you can get in there with the paintbrush too. So I'm going to start with that. Let me just kind of pick up each one and see. This one, I'm not liking that blue planet. I'm almost going to kind of want to make that a teal planet. Let's make that teal. Put a little bit of white. And then I'll go back in here and go back in here with the pencil on top of the acrylic. Right now I'm just going to kind of get something going on there. Something like this maybe. I might put some rings around. I'll put some more space. Then I might have a little bit of a reflection down here because I'll probably put some water down there. So maybe that'll reflect down there. You just gotta kind of play and not be afraid. This one, I'm kind of liking it like it is until I add some water to it. Maybe a little bit more teal color, like space, something going on here. Like this could be a, I don't know the technical name for it, but like an aurora borealis type thing in space. Linda, I've made hundreds of them. That's why I can kind of do them kind of fast. All right, now let's see here. I think I'll do water. I love water too. This one, I'll probably do my watch hands coming through. Could probably get in here with a little bit more black in some area, maybe right in here. I'll add some pencil. Add some pencil stars and stuff in here. It's just kind of dramatic. Make it a little more black. Space debris, This one I'm going to do water as well. But maybe I'll have just the tiniest bit of reflection down here. Needs a little bit more blue-gray. Something underneath the water. And then I'll fix that right in there. Okay. So this now is at the stage. These cards are now at the stage, pretty much, where these other ones that I pulled out earlier are. See, you can see scraping. So now these are all ready for more detail. This one goes this way. More detail too. They're just, it's just a different colors. I think I like it this way. This one looks like a cavern. Do I like it this way? No, I like it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to get in here with the brush. Get a paintbrush here. Okay. Just going to go in here with a little flat. I miss what paper. It's a 110 weight cardstock. Just cardstock. Okay, I'm going to clean my hands a little because now I'm going to fussy paint. I'm going to fussy paint for a minute. All right. And then I'm going to put some watch hands and things. So I have to decide, where do I want my water coming from? Do I want it coming from right there? Do I want it bouncing off here? Do I want it coming down here? Do I want a little bit down here? Maybe I'll have a little right there. Shh, shh, shh. This is the part where I tell myself. Shh, 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 shh. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Fussy painting, yes, we're fussy painting. Okay, so now I'm going to take a second and dry this. Get my Posca. I don't want to knock over my juice. And a couple pencils. I probably have enough pencils in my little already pulled set to use what I want. I think I want my turquoise. Where is it? And then, of course, I don't have that peacock green in here that I want. Let's see. Maybe a little orange and maybe a little... These colors might work. Let me sharpen this pencil. Where'd my sharpener? I moved everything when I moved the color penciling stuff. Oh, here we go. Should see my table. I'm going to show y'all my table in a minute. I'm going to move the camera sideways so y'all can see. Okay. I think I want, do I want the minty green? Kind of like that, because I want to tie those two colors in here. Okay, I'm going to get back to my brush. All right, I just want to touch up, whoops, touch the black. Let me dry this. I'll take my Posca. Right. And a little bit of shadow. Where's my gray? And smeared that a little. Fix that. A little bit more bright. Okay. So, something like that. I need a little bit of touch up there with a black pencil. Too much splashy looking light. I want a couple of different lights, but not all together. There we go, that's better. So, could almost use one more bit of water here. Something like that. Okay. Thanks, guys. It's supposed to. Yeah. Thank you. It's very barely touching. I mean, it's just, I can't tell you how little I'm touching it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Karen. It's a miniature version of my art journals and the altered books, both. It's all the same process. That's what I said at the beginning. It's all the same process. The collage, the paint, the mixed media, what I use, my matte medium, my varnishes, everything is exactly the same. It's just a different scale. Okay, so, and I want to show you how to do some fog and mist too. Maybe we'll do fog and mist on this one, just because I want to show you that. All right, so now I'm going to kind of get up here and kind of fussy in some brighter arch up here. I'll do mist on this one. Okay. All right. I want to block that out too. Let's see, I can probably do it with pencil. Let's see. No, I have to paint it out. I don't want this little bit of where a hand was there. I want to get rid of that because I'm going to put my own watch hands and I don't want it right there. So I'm going to paint it out. And I might want to ring them out. Do I want to ring around? I think I'll do the watch thing. Oh, let me dry it. Got to dry it before I go in there. Oh, thanks, Jean. Thanks, Abby. dry. Gray. Is that going to be dark enough? Yeah, I think so. Yep. Lost in space and time. Okay, now I'm going to do mist on this one. So what I do is I take a baby wipe and I get me some white paint on my hand because I can tell exactly how much I'm getting this way. Okay, and now we're gonna, do I want to foggy mist it this way, like down the street? I think so. Let's go that way. I'm liking that. So just barely coming across there. Shh, 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 shh. All right, liking that one. Let's put this one to the side. Where'd the other one go? Oh, here. Let's put those two right there. All right, now let's see about this one. I think I want some water in my space debris, but let me do my watch hands here. Do I want to come in that way? I could. No, I think I'm going to paint that out. Let's get rid of that watch hand and some of that in there. I want it to come this way. Now maybe I want the third, like a, let's go this way and then also this way. That. Thanks, you're welcome. And then you can do other things like, you know, with pencil, you can add more. If I want a nice bright white star, I'll do that with a Posca. And it doesn't only have to be white, it can be other colors. Actually, it's probably better if you do add other colors. I don't think I'll go with that. No, I'll go with a mint green. I like that color. And you can do other. Something like that. And you can go in there and be picky and, pick out different little things, more stars or more whatever. This is my space debris one, so. Something like this. Okay, next, got two more here. Okay, let's work on this wave. Okay, I think I'm going to get my brush, make sure all the excess water's out of it, and let's add a little bit more to this. Here. Welcome back, Sarah. I want to finish this, and I'll show you the pictures that I did of the kids for the frames that I bought last week. Okay, let's see what I can do here on a little bit more extra wave action. I want a little bit more glow on here. And then have it fade out. That's kind of where I was going. Okay, let's take out the pencil. Do that. I want this to really fade out. Then I can maybe have one, let's have one star right here. Hey Kathy Kaberg, yeah, I'm still here. I want to finish these 2 cards up. I need just a couple more. Oh. Really kind of right on the edge, just a tiny bit. Shh, 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 shh. So I'm liking that. Okay, what do we got? 2 more. I got 2 more. I had 6 all total. Okay, let's go to here. Where's my brush? And my white paint. All right, here. Okay, I'm going to do a little fog action. Mist or fog or don't want to hide that door too much. I just want kind of to come across but not completely block that out. Y'all still with me? You get I kind of get quiet in this zone. Like the colors? Foggy action, yeah. That's why if you do some, especially this little, it doesn't even have to be this little, but if you can pick, like I pick like 3 or 4, keep a minimum of colors, then you're going to have a cohesive piece just based on the color, right? We're still on the tour. May, good one. I got one more to go. I think I want one again. I think I'll have right on the edge. Whoops. Right on the edge here of this planet. That's right in here. Don't want it too centered. It might be well, it's a little to the left. And then maybe just a little more black up in the... I kind of smeared that. Not really. I've had it happen a couple times. Vicky was asking, does my Posca ever spit? Like, I guess it could if you hit, like, if I had a bump of a collage, like I'm going over collagey areas, right? If there was a little bump of something, it could a little bit, but I don't really care in this case because, you know, I have spit all over. I have star spit. All right. Let's do the light. Where's my... Okay, I'm going to leave it. And I signed these all on the backs. I'll post a picture of them, but I signed them all on the back. Okay, one more, and then I want to show you my, I'm going to back out, and I want to show you my, I got to brag about the grands, you know. That's just the way it goes. The pictures that I did of them. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, okay, so this one I wanted to get some of the blue and the white and make kind of a tealy color because I want this to be the fog. It's not quite blue enough. Kind of coming up. Too much there. Gotta kind of blend it out. You know, kind of like Aurora Borealis looking. Something like this. Kind of like fog, but in teal. And make it look okay. Thanks, Ranja. All right, now back to my white. I think I'm gonna do. Let me go ahead and do my. Let me dry this because I want to do my watch hands on it. With the Posca. dry. Thanks, guys. All right, now I want to shadow a bit. Now I'm back to my brush. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Gonna have a little splash thing going on right here. A little glow of light right there. Like this could be, actually it could almost be a swirl. Maybe we'll do a swirl of light. Coming, ending right there. Needs to have the white first. We have the white. Need to have some white there first to have the red go on top. Bye, Vicky. Oh, wait, Vicky. Are you stay for just a minute, Vicky? Wait, Vicky. Wait 1 minute, Vicky. Oh, she already left. Oh well. I wanted her to stay 1 more minute. Okay. Okay, I think, so all I want on this, do I want a little bit more lighter color in here? Like a gray. Okay, so any questions or anything, guys, before I finish these? Thanks, Eileen. Okay, just a little bit brighter lines right here, just a couple. All right. So then what I do is I varnish them with my, and all you have to do is just put like a size of like a nickel in there and then swish it off with your fingers. Now if you add pencil like I did here, don't put your varnish on and rub, because you'll rub that pencil off. Okay, hey Leah. You'll rub the pencil off if you scrub it with your finger. So what you have to do is just, oop, got paint on the bottom of that. What you have to do is just gently smooth out some varnish. Okay? Don't, I think I want a couple little lines. I want a little bit of maybe something kind of coming down off there. Sorry, got in the zone again. Don't rub it real hard with your finger when you're blending out your varnish. My nail polish. Okay, so here we go. Let me move some of this out of the way. Let me wash my hands real quick, guys. 1 second. Got the bulk of it off. Just zoom out here. Whoa, come back here, mouse. Don't be falling in the paint. Okay. That's good. So yeah, the table is a hot mess. But I wanted to show you my things that I made for the pictures I did of the kids. Hang on, let me make some room here. All right, so let's quickly show you. Oh, that's a glare. Show you all 6 pictures here. I'll hold them up. All right, so I am going to try to take the autofocus off for just a minute. Did you varnish the cards of this one? Yeah, that's what I just said about the size of a nickel. I put it, yeah, with about the size of a nickel. When I'm doing an art journal page, I use a foam brush. You know, foam like this, a foam brush, because it doesn't leave brush marks. All right, let's see here. Camera's crooked. All right, let's see. All right. So let's see if I can get it to focus, autofocus. Well, let's see if I can get it to autofocus and then I'll hold them up. I don't know. Come on, baby. Come on, you can do it. I was hoping I'd get it to autofocus. Come on. All right, don't think that's going to happen. All right, so this is probably as good as it gets. That. This. I'll take a picture of them, guys. And then these 2. Thanks, guys. I'll put them on Twitter as soon as I stop the recording. So these again are still in progress. So the same way that I did this kind of stuff, like I can take this one right here and run with this, you know. And it's all the same kind of thing. It's just that those now are done, and see, these still have stuff I can do to them. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's the art cards for today. Let me show you what I was talking about. Last week I got these frames for $5 each at Michael's clearance, and I showed you the photographs. So what I did is I did kind of scrapbook pages with them. So here's the one I did of Cam. Again, it's a nice, pretty cherry wood. I don't know why they were only $5, but I got them for $5. So here's the one. Okay, and so you see, I just kind of do eclectic little groupings. So that's this one. And then here's the one of Boo. So again, all kinds of just little eclectic little groupings. And yeah. So I just thought these were awesome frames. And so real quick, I'll do one last thing before we go. I'll show you one more time. Boo. This is the quick little exhibit thing they were doing. She's down at Summit that's the Super Bowl of cheer down at Disney at Summit in Florida. And yeah, she and her team, they compete at 3 today. So, yay, Boo. Thanks, guys. I know, so excited. Hope they do well. I think this is her 4th year to go to Summit, I think. 4th year to go to Summit. But anyway, I'll go and take a photograph of these guys and post them on Twitter. And thanks for being here. Hope you all have a great afternoon. Have a good weekend. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Bye.